All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that's woven into every single part of our lives, even if we don't like to admit it. And that thing is dependency.
Yeah, I know. Just hearing that word, dependence, it can make you kind of cringe, right? In our culture, it's almost treated like a dirty word, something you're supposed to run away from.
I mean, from the time we're kids, we're told to be independent, right? Be self-sufficient, stand on your own 2 feet. So it's no wonder that when we hear dependence, the first thing that pops into our heads is that a weakness? But what if that's the wrong question entirely? What if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backward? What if it's not a character flaw at all? What if it's simply human? That's the big idea we're going to unpack right now. Okay, so before we go any further, let's all get on the same page. We need to strip away all that negative baggage and just look at a clean, simple definition of what dependence actually is, straight from the source material. And here it is, a state of relying on someone or something outside of yourself for support. You know what's so powerful about that? How simple it is. There's no judgment in there. It's not good, it's not bad. It's just a neutral fact. You rely on outside support. That's it. And I love this next phrase because it just nails it. Dependence isn't a weakness, it's just business as usual for humans. Think about that. It's not some special condition or a sign you failed. It's the default setting. It's the rule, not the exception. So if this is business as usual, where do we actually see it in our day-to-day lives? Let's start with the really obvious stuff, the visible web of support that's all around us. Okay, first up, our physical health. This one's a no-brainer, right? When you were a baby, you were 100% dependent. And if you get really sick, or as you get older, guess what? You need people again. And then there's our emotional health, which is just as vital. We're literally wired to need love, care, and empathy. You can't just create that by yourself in a little bubble. And it just keeps going. The resources we need to survive, food, a place to live, a way to get around, that almost always comes from the work of other people. And to really thrive, you need education from teachers, advice from mentors, and of course, social connections. We're social animals. We're not built for isolation. We're built to be connected. All right, so that's the stuff we can kind of see and feel every day, the direct support. But now we get to the part that is really going to blow your mind. We're going to talk about the invisible architecture of our lives, the hidden network that supports even the most fiercely independent person you know. You've heard it before. Maybe you've even said it yourself. I'm 100% self-reliant. It sounds powerful, doesn't it? Like the ultimate goal. But are you really? This simple little question from our source material is so powerful because, man, once you start to actually think about it, that whole idea of being totally self-reliant just crumbles. Let's just do a quick reality check. The house or apartment you're in right now, did you build it with your own 2 hands? The knowledge in your head? Did you write all the books you've ever read? Heck, did you teach yourself how to read in the first place? Yeah, probably not. Okay, what about just getting around? The roads you drive on? Someone else paved those. The car or bus you ride in? Someone else designed and built it. The electricity or gas that powers it? Someone else generated or refined that. I mean, the number of people involved in just one trip to the store it's just staggering. And let's talk about the absolute basics. The clothes you're wearing right now, the food you ate for breakfast. Every single one of those things is the final link in a massive, global chain of human effort. From farmers to factory workers to truck drivers, you're being supported by thousands, maybe millions of people you will never, ever meet. So here's the truth of it. You are indirectly benefiting from the efforts of other people in more ways than you could possibly count. It's this huge, complex web of cooperation that makes our lives possible. It's everywhere, all the time. Okay, so when you put all of this together, the visible support and this massive invisible web, it leads us to a really powerful, really fundamental truth about what it means to be one of us. And here it is, the universal principle. Dependence is your natural state as a human being. Let that sink in for a second. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's not a sign of weakness, it's just our natural state. It's the human operating system. And you know what? It's not a one-way street. It's this beautiful, interconnected system. Because as a human, you will depend on other humans to thrive. And guess what? They're going to rely on you too. We're all in this together. So once we can accept that dependence is just part of the deal, the whole conversation shifts. The real question isn't if you are dependent. That's a settled fact. The real question, the one that actually matters, is this. Is your relationship with your own dependence healthy? Or is it toxic? And that is exactly where we're going next.